Hi everyone, this is Ronnie, and sorry I've not put any videos up for a while. Came back from the UK Fruit Festival a couple of weeks ago and haven't really got back into a rhythm of doing things, and also my phone broke and a few other things like that held me back a little bit. As you can see, I've shaved today as well, so I look probably a lot different, maybe a bit weird. Don't know if I'll keep it like this or whatever, but felt like time for a bit of a change. And I've had a beard for like 3 or 4 years, so I don't really like shaving close, but this was a hot towel shave at a barber, so I went for that. But anyway, the Woodstock Fruit Festival, I'm leaving tomorrow to go, and for anyone that's going to be in New York, we're going to be in Manhattan before the festival on the 20th. Sorry, not the 20th, which is technically today. There is going to be a Fruit Luck in Central Park at 5 p.m, so come along to that. Meet at the Whole Foods at Columbus Circle Station, and across the road from that, you go across like an intersection with 4 or 5 roads. There's an entrance to Central Park, and we'll all gather in there, and you'll see people eating fruit, and we'll go into the Columbus Circle Whole Foods, which is a really nice Whole Foods to try and get some fruit at. So you're totally welcome to that, even if you're not coming to the festival. That's 5 p.m. at 5 p.m. at the Whole Foods. So Woodstock is one of my absolute favourite events of the year. It's been a highlight of the last 4 or 5 years of my life. It's led to a lot of big changes for me and helped me to transform into a different person in many different ways. And I've also met a lot of wonderful people and friends and partners, I don't know what you want to call it, like people that I've ended up working with and doing other things with, and just some really brilliant people, and I've had wonderful times there. As someone that obviously does a fruitarian, raw vegan diet, all these events are brilliant to go to, because you get something more. You get to be part of a community in real life that you want to be part of all the time. So it's a great experience. I really can't underestimate it. And if any of you are going, or you're still to sign up, you can get this is really late now, but you can get a discount through my Fruity Ronster code. But anyway, try and get there if you can, even if it's only for a few days or a weekend. You really won't regret it, even if you have to travel quite far to get there and everything. Recently, there's been a little bit of mini drama, and John Kohler made a video where he was talking about the quality of the fruit at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And the way it initially went up, the title said, "Woodstock serves poor quality fruit to attendees?" ? And I just thought, when I saw that, I thought, what's he doing? Like, what's the purpose of this video, and in what way is this going to be positive in any way? And if you actually watch the video, he's just going through and testing sort of the Brix value of a lot of the fruit, and saying, this is average, or this is good, or most of it isn't that bad actually, but he kind of makes little criticisms about the fact that some of the fruit's imported or not organic, or that it's not really good quality, and how he would generally get much better, or he would expect it to be better, or whatever. At the very end of the video, he actually use the phrase, Woodstock shouldn't just get any old cheap, something like, they shouldn't just get the cheapest crap. They shouldn't just be getting any old crap, or something like that. Right at the end of the video, and he said, "You guys, you should be complaining about." Basically, he's telling people to complain about the quality of the fruit, and I just don't understand on any level what he was aiming to do with that video. And I think that the video he made in response to it, I don't know if he was quite honest, if he was quite real about what he was trying to do. I don't really know. But I quite like, I've always quite liked John and the videos he's made and some of the stuff that he's put out there, and I've attended some of his talks. and spoke to him once or twice, but not had particularly long conversations. But he was quite helpful and a good guy. But I think that video is really misjudged in the way that he's done that and the way he's put that across. The what's followed on from that is that the man who runs Woodstock, Mike Arnstein, decided to pull the funding from him. So John was getting some funding because he was a presenter at the event and helped to promote the event, and previously he was a pioneer of the event when that was still happening. So I guess I wanted to raise a few of my own thoughts. Firstly, I've been in this will be my 5th time. I've been there 4 years before. I can't say the fruit has always been perfect or every single piece of fruit is great or anything like that, but as a attendee, I've always been pretty happy with the. I've been super happy with the whole event, like super happy with everything. If you were to say, how is the fruit quality or whatever, or if the question was, have you been satisfied with every single piece of fruit? Well, that's obviously not going to be the case pretty much anywhere. But last year I thought the food was great. I really enjoyed the food, and maybe it's because I'm a bit simpler now with my diet and everything, but I really enjoyed it last year. Years before that, there was one year, the first year I went, there was a day when it ran quite low in terms of the fruit. I think they had a truck that didn't turn up. But it's always been, it's a lot of the times it's been stuff that's been a little bit outside of the control of the festival, like things to do with the suppliers, things to do with the orders going wrong. And if you order ripe bananas and they send you green bananas, then what can you do about that? There's not, if they just don't fulfill what you ask them to do, it's hard for you to do anything about that. But I generally think if you've seen that video and you're worried about the fruit quality, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. They have fantastic melons every year. They have a buffet every night with like every type of vegetable and salad green going pretty much, and always nice dressings and stuff like that to add on to it. Last year they had coconuts every day. You could go and get coconuts and drink from them fresh. There was durian for everyone. There's big durian parties, different qualities of durian. The orange juice every day I thought was great. You can go and get the orange juice, and I thought the orange juice quality and the oranges were good, and definitely worth drinking. After that, I kind of get hazy, to be honest. Like I don't think about the fruit so much or otherwise, and it kind of annoys me when anyone goes, "Oh yeah, I can get better fruit back home than I get here," or I grow better fruit than this, or stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I understand if you've got a blueberry farm, I understand that you get better blueberries in your garden. And I understand why you would say that, but this is glowing. This is feeding 600 or so people all at the same time, and having to get blueberries right now, or having to get peaches right on time and ripe. There's definitely been problems with the fruit, but it's not something that they're not on top of, that they're not thinking about, that they're not trying to make better, and they're not aware of. They're not going in there set with the intention of getting the cheapest, crappiest fruit. I think that's really sad that John would put that out there, and it's sad that some of John's followers are now saying, "Oh, the festival is all elitist and egos," and it's really not. I just want you to imagine for a second that you, like Mike and the other people, work on this event all year round, and then one of the presenters that you're compensating for the event turns around and makes a video where he's basically saying, where he's telling people that there's a problem with the fruit quality, instead of just going to them and saying he has concerns about it, and just maybe phoning them or talking to them and saying, or maybe providing an alternative. John Cole has obviously got a lot of contacts, a lot of experience. He knows all these farmers and things. Maybe he could use some of that to have brought in better quality food if he saw it that way. But it's a more complex thing, I think, than people realise. We've been lucky at the UK festival. We've always been able to get really great quality fruit because we've got some good people that have really helped us out. And this year, I would say that we didn't quite order enough, so it was a little bit limited. We still had enough fruit. We still had great quality fruit, but I think it was just a little bit like it could have been a bit more for everyone. And that's just something you have to look at in experience and say, right, need to keep that in mind for next year. It's about getting better. There's no when Mike Arnstein started the Woodstock Festival, there's not a guidebook that he could follow. There wasn't anyone that he could go to and say, right, how do you do this? How do you order 600 people's worth of fruit? So they're really doing their best, I feel. I think John's made a little bit of a miscalculation. I understand that he gets better fruit where he lives and grows it, and it's a big concern for him getting organic. And sorry, I'm touching my face so much. I'm just itchy. It always bothers me when people get uptight about organic and about locally grown and about stuff like how come you might think why can't Woodstock just go down to the farmer nearby and buy all their strawberries or something because it's just not going to work like that. The farmer will have a contract with some other company, so they can't sell their strawberries to you, and they have to sell their strawberries to some wholesale place or someone that's making jam or someone that's making, so you'll have to go to the wholesaler anyway a lot of the times, and you're kind of relying on that working out. You're relying on the seasons, you're relying on what fruit's going to be ripe at that exact time of year. You never know. One of the fruit festivals that people say has got the best fruit is the Spanish festival, and the year that I went, they had some weather kind of issues, and a lot of the fruit wasn't ripe because it just wasn't on time. So people say, oh, this is the best fruit, local grown, organic, and then none of it's not none of it, but a lot of it. A few of the things weren't ripe. Sorry, not all of it, but there was a few things that weren't ripe, and that's just going to happen until we get super better at getting good fruit quality. So I've always thought they do a great job. I think if you're going, you should still be excited about the fruit that's going to be there and the food that's going to be there. I mean, they had cinnamon rolls and banana ice cream and all this amazing stuff last time. It's sad that John chose to focus on that, but in my honest opinion, when I started travelling and going to festivals and events, I was expecting to turn up to events and see a quality of fruit that was way beyond what I'd ever seen before. I expected to go to Thailand and see, all this fruit that was way beyond what I'd ever eaten before, and it's just not going to be the case. Maybe if you go to, I'm still waiting for an experience really where all the fruit's just top quality, better than everything else. And whether you go to Thailand or whether you go to Hawaii or whatever, people tell me California that's like the best place for great fruit and everything. So I don't know. I think I get great fruit from the shop across the road. I think I get great fruit from the market near me, and I just don't elevate it into that it's got to be like the sweetest, most amazing thing every time. It's going to be inconsistent, but you go for the best thing, and it always worries me. It's always an excuse that people use to go back to eating cooked food and eating other things, as they say that the fruit quality isn't great. Well, what's not great is your ability to pick fruit. That's your problem. Your ability to pick fruit. Because when people say, "Oh, I bought all this stuff and it went off and it was rubbish," you think, well, don't buy it. Why did you buy the stuff that wasn't good? So, and that's a bit of a further rant. I can totally see why they've done this. I can totally see why they've said this to John. I'm always really supportive of the event because I think the event is bigger than everyone there. I don't think this is an egotistical thing. I don't think this is Mike trying to be all powerful or anything like that. I think he's making a decision to protect the event. Because if you're actively bringing someone in, encouraging them to come, and then they make videos where they're spreading this idea out there that the fruit's all bad and everything, and other people have done that. Other people that have attended the event and got massive gains from the event because they met people and did YouTube videos and interviews and did all this stuff to boost their YouTube channel and boost their websites and everything else. People did that and then criticised the event and then said, "Oh, the event, oh, it wasn't that good," or you know. So it's this has happened so many times to Woodstock in particular, that people have come in, been welcomed in, and then kicked the event. And for everyone like me and other people that have been 4, 5, 6 times, when we see the comments and people say, "Oh yeah, the Woodstock Festival, this and that," well, wait, have you been to the festival? No, I've never been. Well, why are you saying that? Why don't you speak to me and others? Why don't you speak to people that have been multiple times? We'll tell you how good it is. We'll tell you that the fruit quality is mostly great. It's mostly really good. I can't think of like, oh yeah, it was really bad fruit. I can't even think of thinking that last year. But we're still living in the real world. You know, it's not, you're not turning up and picking it off the tree and everything. You know. But yeah, if the event gets to the point where there's like thousands of people coming, maybe it will get to that point. But anyway, I just want to put a video out there, kind of supporting the festival and looking forward to it, and letting everyone know about the Fruit Luck in Manhattan if anyone's coming to that Central Park. Yeah, hope everyone has a great time, and I hope to see you there.